Hi, hello, how are you, Amanda? Zane Artist. We're going to talk about glasses. Somebody asked for me to do an updated, quick video, I know, about wearing glasses and wearing makeup. And I think there's a lot of really great tips and tricks. I really want to focus on the nose. And so I've done almost all my makeup except for my under eyes and my nose. Here's a tip with eyeshadow. Try to keep it light. Light on the under eyes when you're talking about smoking things out. I couldn't make this an eyeshadow, but keep your lids light and then don't go too heavy on smoking out your under eyes. Just focus on the outer part of your eyes. And you're going to see how I did that once I get everything on. But also when you're concealing, do try to go a shade or two lighter than your skin tone, because glasses tend to create a shadow and we don't need to enhance that. As you can see, it can just darken the under eyes, and everybody's glasses are a different size and shape, and some are smaller, some are bigger than mine. I have a lot of readers, and I do have regular glasses I'm supposed to wear, but one of the things you'll see is having this light and bright opens things up, but also the shadow from the top of my glasses, if you have dark shadow on, if you do a bold eye, it's going to look deeper and it's going to make your eyes look more mature. So just keep it light and fresh with your eyeshadow, because this is what people are kind of seeing. Just keeping that in mind. So let's talk about the makeup part, especially with summer. So this also goes with wearing sunglasses. My biggest pet peeve of glasses is the gunk, the gathering. So let's do our makeup. I'm going to do my nose first and then my under eyes. It's really about the placement of your contour. I'm going to go in, I'm going to use my detail brush. It's my favorite contour brush, especially for my nose. And I do also use my finger. What you want to do is you want to put your contour, I'm using cedar, on the edge of your brush, and we're going to stay low. We're going to keep this lower than where the pads of our glasses sit. Don't apply your cream where the pads of your glasses sit. It's going to have something for your glasses to grab, and it's going to be heavier in that area because we've placed it in that area. So keep your contour low. This is up here, this area isn't really seen when you're wearing glasses, so focus on the area that is seen. So keep your contour nice and low on your nose, squaring off the tip, and then we're gonna blend it. So blending it down, keeping it again away from the nose pad area, and then just blend it upward towards that nose pad area. So if you wear glasses, wear sunglasses, reading glasses, eyeglasses, all the glasses, you want to just keep it away from the nose pad, blend it upward so it's very thin. Remember, if you're using Saint, it's 80% pigmentation. And so bringing it up doesn't take a lot when this is already a generally shadowed area, but also it's covered by your glasses. So just blend it upward so it doesn't go up and stop. It just lightly blends out. Okay, we're going to take that small end. We're going to go into our brightening. Mine is June, and we're going to go right down the middle. And this is just going to give you that brightening, that straightening. I have a bump on my nose, so this just helps, but it helps chisel out that contour you put on, and then just blend the edges. And that's your nose. You really don't have to focus it because we have a natural shadow right there. So you don't need to add a shadow, just blend it upward into that area. Okay, that's it on the nose for right now. Now we're going to work on our under eyes. We're going to go in with that small end of the detail brush. We're going to tap some of our brightening on. We're going to take this natural sheen. We're going to go right there. We're going to follow this up that orbital bone and then up into that inner corner, avoiding that nose pad area. So kind of dipping into that trough. Everybody's face is shaped differently, but I just go into that trough and then bring it up into that inner corner. This just gives it a lighter, brighter look so that when you put your glasses, if they're readers or your everyday glasses on, this is going to lighten things up a little bit. And I'm going to put my glasses on after this eye just to show the difference. But we're just going to tap this out, blend it out, bringing it down. I like my brightening to come pretty far down. And then I go into my smile line just to lift it a little bit, and it gives just a little definition to my cheek. And then after this is all tapped out, we bring it to that soft tissue. You don't want a lot of heavy cream. 80% pigmentation when you're using Saint makeup, and I can color match you. But you want to keep that light. 80% pigmentation means you just need a very thin veil amount under your eyes, and it'll give you the coverage you need. If you need extra correcting, we can talk about that. But bringing this up cleans up that smokiness we put on, and then you can go in and fluff that up on this inner corner area so that your smokiness is really focused out here and you're able to more customize the smear you put on. Because I really just go at it, before I put my makeup on. And then I can customize it right when I'm doing this area. And then I can just smoosh it upward like that, okay? I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm just gonna smash this down. This is also my setting brush, okay? So before we set it, I'm gonna put my glasses back on just so you can see the way that this canceled out the darkness, but it brightened and livened things up, and it helped clean up my eyeshadow. So we put the glasses on and you can see it opens my eye up more. So do you see how it's just a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter? I mean, this is makeup, not magic. And so just keep in mind, less is more when you're doing your under eyes, but having that shade that's a shade or two lighter than your actual skin tone is gonna give that brightened look with your glasses that are gonna create a shadow, okay? And so having it just opens things up, and pushing up on that inner corner and that out inner under eye where the smokiness doesn't go as far in now, just opens things up. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. Okay, so again, going back to the pads, I'm gonna brighten my other under eye real quick so we can really dig into this. Where's my detail brush? There it is. We're gonna go into that brightening, and again, just going into that natural shine and using that shade or two lighter makes it look like it's a shine. So it just accentuates and enhances. I like to barely tap it on, that way you can always build up, and then going in on that trough to that inner corner to cancel out. I'm just avoiding that nose pad and then tapping it out, bringing it down into that smile line for me. Do what you want, take what you want, leave what you don't. This is makeup, have fun with it. Try a different technique every day and make your makeup fun again. But then going up onto that under eye soft tissue area is your last place, because that soft tissue, the more makeup you put on, the more you're going to add texture, create texture. Okay, so we got it on, and now we need it to stay. So what you want, hold on. Okay, you want a film forming spray. This one's my favorite. This is Blue Marble. It's on Amazon, $40. Get the small size just to try it out. It is film forming, and so it's gonna help your makeup. Now remember, this is makeup, not magic. Makeup moves. Makeup should move with your skin. If it's not moving with your skin, it's cracking apart, and then you've got a crevasse of makeup. Smile lines, hatchet. I don't have the things that freeze my face. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna go from side to side, okay? You're gonna go from side to side, and you're gonna get your face good and damp. This is a film forming spray, which is really nice. Then you're gonna take a setting powder. What setting powder is up to you. Saint has two. They've got a pressed vanilla dust. And then this one here, which I use, this one's my favorite. It has, I don't even need to swipe it, a sheen to it, which helps. But then I also really love non-Saint brand, the Laura Mercier. Okay, we're gonna use the Laura Mercier because my blotting dust is so low and I'm waiting for my box to get here. So we're gonna take a loose powder. This is a very popular one. All right, and you're gonna hold the lid. I'm gonna use the shape brush, get the silver one, and you're gonna tap on this much. I mean, that looks like a lot. You're gonna go into the lid, you're gonna swirl this and press it into the brush. Into the brush, just like that, and then look, way better, okay? But you can see where all that dust is. You're gonna start at a low texture zone, and we're gonna bring I start at my temple because that's my low texture, and you're gonna sweep around the eye and then up into that pad area and over. So again, pressing it in, we're gonna grab a little bit more, pressing it in. Go into that temple, bringing it up and over. I get really oily in this area, and this is why I start here. And then into that nose pad. My family is back from the store. Okay, into that nose pad area. I'm gonna go into this small part of the brush, and I am gonna grab a small amount. Tap off excess, and I am going to bake my nose pads. I'm gonna bake the nose pads, and that just means we're gonna put a heavy amount of powder where the nose pads are only. Then I'm gonna take my glasses, all right? We're gonna put some on our finger, and you are going to rub your setting powder on the pads of your nose. You wanna buff it. You don't want it loosey-goosey on the nose pads, okay? I get all my readers from Anthropologie. They're rarely there long, so if you like having something not a lot of people have, Anthropologie has really great readers, and they're super cute. I get them all the time. I like having variety, and I shove them everywhere. And so if you're ever wondering where I get my readers from, that is where I get them from. So we've let this sit and bake as we've chatted and rubbed onto the nose pad. We're gonna take that small brush, We're just gonna tap it out. We're not sweeping it off, we're just tapping it out and pressing it in. This is gonna give you the most bang for your buck on your glasses wearing makeup. And so then you can put them on, and this is for sunglasses, this is for your daily glasses, your readers, whatever. And this will give you the most longevity with not getting that gunkiness on the inner part of your nose. So I know this is a longer video, I guess, 10 minutes. I can't make it short. I like to talk, but having that brightness under the eyes opens things up, keeping your shadow a little bit on the lighter side, especially on the lids. Right now I have Paris pressed onto my lids, which in July, it is 50% off. And once it's gone, it's gone. If it's gone, go get Cupcake, go get Mama, go get Lily. You can get those and they will work just as good. But those are my tips and tricks for wearing glasses, readers, everyday glasses, even sunglasses. I do this every summer because I do sit by the pool with makeup on. I am that girl. And that's my makeup. Have a great day.